The upcoming KDE Plasma 5.24 desktop environment will introduce support for fingerprint readers to allow users to authenticate into their Plasma session faster, easier, and more secure. Re-owned KDE developer Nat Graham shared today this big news that a fingerprint authentication feature, which is in development for quite a while now, has finally been merged and will be ready for development as part of the upcoming KDE Plasma 5.24 desktop environment series, which is due for release next year. Fingerprint authentication support has been implemented in the users panel in system settings. There, users who have a fingerprint reader either built in their laptop or as an external device will be able to enroll as well as to de-enroll fingerprints. Once the fingerprint authentication feature is set up, you will be able not only to log in using your finger, but to also authenticate in apps that requires a password or administrative privileges. Here it is in action. So far, we let you enroll and de-enroll fingers, and any of these fingers can be used to unlock the screen, provide authentication when an app asks for your password, and also authenticate sudo on the command line. It is really cool stuff, said Nat Graham. The KDE Plasma 5.24 desktop environment is for release on February 8, 2021. Besides support for fingerprint readers, it promises numerous other new features and improvements, including the ability to enable or disable and remove laptop repos in Plasma Discord, more Plasma Variant enhancements, a slightly revamped lock screen, support for light and dark themes across all apps, keyboard navigation for the network and clipboard applets, and much more. Until then, KDE Plasma 5.23 is here and it's ready to conquer your Linux desktop. The second point release, KDE Plasma 5.23.2, will be available next week with preliminary support for the proprietary NVIDIA drivers GBM backend, a feature that promises to dramatically improve the Plasma desktop experience for NVIDIA GPU users. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.